This is the Vince Salerno Podcast, Episode 1. Hey guys, welcome to the Vince Salerno Podcast. This is the Vince Salerno Podcast, Episode 2, Episode 3, Episode 4, Episode 5, Episode 6, 7, 8, 9, Episode 10, 11, 12. This is the Vince Salerno Podcast, Valentine's Day Special, 14, Halloween Special, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. On today's episode, we're talking all those great Comic-Con reveals from this past weekend. We're going to be going through my most anticipated films of 2017. We begin our look back at the Marvel Cinematic Universe leading up to Avengers Infinity War, Episode 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, Episode 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, Episode 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, Episode 50. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. We're talking about a very special film, if you cannot tell by the image behind me. That didn't work like I expected. 59, 60 episodes, and only, 6 years? 61, 62, 63. We are back in this glorious 2023, the year of our Lord, or whatever. 65, 66. Gonna be a very fun episode because we have a very special guest. We have Miley Durbin as our special guest, Shelby Turner, Eric Jenkins, my wife Kate, Helen Roy, Georgia Dahl, Paul Rowland.
As much as I think so many of the things that they do are stupid, I think there's a lot of smart people in Hollywood.
My dad, JJ Schindler, Eve Rosemary, Steve Baker, Andrew Coltonuk.
When you get to the other side of the difficult decisions and the frustration, you see what God has laid out for you. You feel kind of stupid. You're like, of course this is what you had for me, and of course it's better.
68, 69, Episode 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. I'm your host as always, Vince Salerno. Episode 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. So sit back, relax. The Vince Salerno Podcast starts right now. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Vince Salerno Podcast. This is episode 100. As always, I'm your host, Vince Salerno, and guys, episode 100, here we are. We made it. Made it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that we're actually here recording this. This feels like a long time coming. I put this on like my my goals for 2025. I didn't know how long it would take me, but
You were talking about it a long time ago.
I wasn't I?
Yeah, I feel like we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah. When I kind of like reapplied myself and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like since September or October, you're like, what should I do for my 100th episode? I'm like, when's that going to be?
Yeah.
And we didn't know.
This isn't even what I initially planned, but I'll get into that in just a second. First off, before we get into anything else, I just want to say thank you to anybody who has subscribed to this show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts. For anybody who's subscribed, to anyone who's listened, to anyone who's watched the show, promoted the show, shared it, social media, everywhere, just thank you. Thank you, because that's how I grow my audience, is from you guys engaging, sharing the show, enjoying the show, interacting with the guests as well, and following their work. I can't thank you enough. This show, and especially where I am right now with the show, is definitely not where I intended this to be. You know, when I first started this almost 9 years ago, and to see where it's evolved and how it's evolved has been kind of cool. And I just, again, I would not be able to do this and have even really the motivation to do this if I didn't have an audience that was growing with me. We're not huge. I have like 390 something subscribers on YouTube and probably half that on podcast platforms, but it's enough to keep me going. I like the views I'm getting and the interactions I'm getting from you guys. And so it just, again, thank you, because I would not be motivated to do this if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you. So for the 100th episode, the original plan was to assemble a motley crew of some of the best guests who have ever been on this show. I won't say their names, just I don't want to single anybody out, but I had a list of people who I wanted to specifically come on the show. Some recent guests that you've seen on the show in the past few months, especially this year, with some of the amazing guests that we've had on. I'll leave it at that. And then some people who haven't been on in a while. But we had issues with scheduling and logistics. These great guests of mine are busy people in themselves, so we just couldn't make it work, and I didn't want to wait too long to put this out. So we ended up just scrapping that, and this wonderful person was going to come on anyways. My wife and my best friend,
Thanks.
Kate Salerno. So welcome.
Thank you.
It's funny, you typically come on when there is like a shift or a big like monumental change with the show. Like you were on when we were dating a couple times. Remember the COVID episode? Yeah.
Well, that was a long time
ago. When we were first maybe like a little, like maybe 6 to 8 months into dating
in person,
and you came out to my house for COVID.
Okay, yes, I do remember this.
I was like really excited because you were going to be on the podcast.
Wow.
And then you did an episode about The Office with me.
I do remember that one.
Which we got to do another one because we just love deep diving about The Office.
Love The Office.
Yeah, she loves The Office. And then the big thing, you were on, I think it was episode 64. And that was when I was very like open about like, hey, I'm not going to shy away from politics and how all the wokeness is affecting Hollywood and the film industry, because like if we don't speak up, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
And thankfully, like recording this now, it's actually gotten a lot better.
I
think.
Yeah. So too.
So, just from your perspective, seeing everything I've been doing, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I definitely think that your response has been really good. I think you've gained more followers, subscribers, viewers. Like people are actually interested in people who tell the truth and people who, who are just true to themselves, who aren't hiding anything, who aren't trying to be fake about things. I think you've had a really good turnout as far as like such a quick change from what you were talking about to now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I will reflect on with this show is that as much as I love doing it, I struggled a lot with procrastination. And I had a lot of distractions in my life that were preventing me from being not just disciplined with this show, but disciplined in a lot of different things, and just like going after and achieving my goals, and really motivating myself to do 100 episodes and consistently post episodes on a weekly basis was kind of this challenge to we talked about this, like this was a challenge to myself to basically prove to myself, like, so I can achieve something if I put myself out there, if I am unafraid of failure.
On top of a full-time job and being a dad to a toddler.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot going on in life, which makes it a little hard to do, but
it's doable.
It's doable. It's absolutely doable. And I could not do it without the support of my beautiful, wonderful wife, who is carrying our second child right now. So yeah, I mean, I don't see these things as obstacles. I see these things as motivation to do a good job and hopefully grow this into a successful brand for all of us. But to be able to like see this goal through of 100 episodes is really monumental for me, and it's informed what I am going to do next. Like, now that I've achieved this goal, I have things that I am planning to do to take myself and this show to the next level. And we'll talk about that at the end of this episode. Right now, you have some questions that you wanted to ask me, right?
Yes,
about the show.
I have. I wrote them down.
Oh, do you want to?
I need them.
Here.
Thank you.
Let's pull them up on the old cellular device.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so episode 100 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Personal questions.
Personal questions. Okay.
It's about to get deep. I'm just kidding. All right. What was the original intention for doing your movie podcast?
So the original intention was, if you've been following me since I ever started a YouTube channel in like 2009, I think, the initial intent was to make it easier to talk about movies online, because I was already doing a really amateur YouTube show. I think I called it like the Big V75 show, which, if you're ever wondering what the Big V75 is on my YouTube name, that was what my YouTube channel was for the longest time. And then I was like, I don't want to ditch this, but I also want people to know that I have a name. And that's, I don't want to go by the Big V75 anymore. And that show, I hope, does not see the light of day, because it's some of the more embarrassing stuff I've done on YouTube. But I wanted to keep talking about movies, but I just couldn't find the time. And this was 2016 when I started this, and podcasting was really becoming a big thing. Yeah. So I thought, okay, I can do an audio podcast. I can just sit down in a room, record myself from beginning to end, talking about like 5 or 6 different movie stories, edit little things here and there, and have a nice little music intro, which I think the first one was recorded by a college friend of mine, Jacob Hodevy, just in our apartment on his guitar. It was really, really stripped down. It wasn't super complicated or anything. But he did a great job with that riff. And that's how it started. And then it just kind of continued on from there. I interviewed, it went kind of beyond movie news, where I was interviewing my JP Catholic classmates about their projects, especially during the senior project season. That's where JJ Schindler, Shelby Schindler. I got to get used to saying that. She goes by Shelby Schindler. Well,
at the time, now. She was Shelby Turner.
At the time, she was Shelby Turner.
So you're not wrong.
Right. And Gabe Moore, Miley Durbin, Susie Duenas, Elizabeth Verklin, later after JP Catholic for both of us, but so many JP Catholic people were like regular guests on my show. And then after college, I kind of stuck with it kind of inconsistently, but I still wanted to keep it going. Anyways, that was the initial intent, was to make it easier to talk about movies, because in addition to wanting to make movies, I just love talking about movies and movie news. And as I've matured and as I've grown, that has expanded into like talking about culture and pop culture and how that intersects with politics, because I don't want to shy away from the political discourse, but it's not about talking about politics. It's about talking about politics in relation to the entertainment industry. Right. So,
yeah. Did you kind of answer my next question? How has it changed over time?
Oh yeah. Well, let me address that more directly. Okay. I think the way it's changed, is yes. So it started out as just wanting to talk about movies and movie news and entertainment industry, and then as I've matured over the years, I felt like I guess I was maturing. I like the show needs to grow up with me,
right?
And I thought, well, it's not really cool to just talk about movies anymore, because I think what I was also realizing is, and I think I've kind of talked about this, but I used to be kind of a shill for Hollywood and movies. And once I kind of took a step back and realized what I was doing and what other pundits and movie commentators were doing, and because some of them are kind of shills, some of them are, I'm not going to call out any names, but like I really looked up to Collider and John Campea, and they had a big fall from grace that really kind of shook me. I was like, well, I don't have like a foundation for what I do anymore. And then that just translated into me kind of learning to march to the beat of my own drum. But then as time went on, I realized that, like, my faith, my conservative politics, like, that is actually important to me, and that should be a part of, especially my faith should be a part of everything I do. So it became like, I'm going to go all in on the politics stuff. And that's kind of what last year was. And then as we've kind of seen that, I don't know, that's just how, like, not trying to bash on conservative politics, but like, it just, you can only combine entertainment and politics so far. I think I've learned that entertainment needs to be divorced of politics. If you want to entertain the masses, which is what I'm in the business of doing, you have to be not shy away from your political beliefs and your religious beliefs, but you need to be able to show that in a way that's not going to directly offend people. That's not going to turn people off. I guess I'm not worried about offending people. I'm worried about turning people off in that, like, oh, well, I'm talking about like something that they hold dear, and then I don't agree with that. I just want people to be entertained. I want people to come in and feel like they can like enjoy themselves. I'm not attacking them, but I also want to talk about these issues because they're important. So does that answer your question? I guess I expanded on the question.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm tired. We've
had she's 38 weeks pregnant. We both had a long day with our kids, so it's okay.
I didn't want to ruin them.
No, you're good. It's fine. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Okay. Talk about progress and overcoming procrastination and fear.
Yeah. So again,
you kind of,
I did talk about that. Basically, I've gone through like a bit of an existential crisis in a way of just like I'm having that fear of like, oh, I haven't completed my goals. I'm not making movies professionally. I'm not doing what I want to do professionally. I've talked about this before, so it's not yet. Yeah. But I was kind of worrying like, oh my gosh, I'm almost 30 and I haven't done these things. But I also realized that I would sometimes blame other people for these problems I was having. And I realized at a certain point, oh, it's actually my fault. I've not applied myself. I've been lazy. I put myself into other hobbies that were not producing the results I wanted to. I was really afraid to just put myself out there and look like an idiot and fail and not look smart. I think even to this day, I'm still overcoming some of those insecurities of like, I feel like I need to be at least somewhat competent about certain things. And I think even watching Tom Cruise on the red carpet for Mission Impossible recently, like, don't be afraid of what you don't know. Hearing that, I think, has really encouraged me too. But having wonderful support like a wife is really, really essential. I mean, you've motivated me. I mean, you've really pushed me to this point where like just having conversations we've had and showing me that like I'm perfectly capable of doing these things. It's just I have to apply myself, and I have to be not afraid to just fall flat on my face and just do it. Yeah. I mean, beyond even this podcast, I can't reveal all the details about this, but I was very close to pitching a show to a very high profile network media company, and that kind of blew up, and it didn't end up panning out the way I did it, or the way I wanted it to. But surprisingly, I wasn't like super upset. I mean, I was upset in the moment. Like I told people like, what the heck, what happened? But looking back, I mean, right after that happened, I called you and I said, I'm not too upset because at least I tried.
Yeah.
Like, I did something big that like
kind of learned something.
It scared me. It scared me to put myself out there like that. And I learned that, well, that I could do it. I could do it. I did. I put a ton of work into this thing, and it still could could happen at some point, but it's not going to happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess like hopefully that encourages people who are watching this. Like if you're scared of doing something,
just do it.
Just do it. I mean, if the fact that you're afraid of it means that you probably should do it. And
you won't go anywhere if you don't do anything.
It's true, yeah. So don't be afraid to chase after the things that scare you, because those are probably the things that are going to make you successful. That's a good question.
Thank you. Okay. We've got maybe 2 more.
Okay.
So look back at 9 years and 100 episodes. What's your biggest lesson?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you've changed the most? Have you changed? And
the age-old question.
Yeah, have you changed? And what excites you about the future? What does the future look like for you?
That's a good question.
That was a lot.
Yeah. So what?
Break it down.
How did it change?
Yeah. Look back at 9 years, and 100 episodes.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that it just started out as just me wanting to sit in a room and talk about movies, and I never thought that I would ever evolve into like this being kind of a battleground for truthful conversation. Because as you talked about, I don't want to be disingenuous. I think we have a lot of people online who are fake, who talk about things because they want to be liked, who talk about things because they want the mainstream media to like them. And I kind of used to be like that, especially in some of the earlier episodes. But really it was episode 64 where you were on that we talked about that. I was like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I don't want to be disingenuous to myself. I don't want to hide who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to be truthful to who I am, and to heck with the consequences. Like,
right.
Because this podcast, everything we do is for the honor and glory of God, and it stands to reason that He wants us to be genuine in everything we do. And if we're not, if we're hiding, right, then we're not going to be able to do that. I do want to reflect on the guests that I've had on, because I've had so many
lately. You've had so many guests.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of been fun.
It's great.
See who you're gonna interview. Some people I know, some people I don't know. Like, how'd you get them?
Yeah,
that's like pretty cool.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, it was really cool. Again, starting out, having some just friends of mine. Tyler Banark, who's been on multiple times. Good Omaha guy. Great guy. Just anytime when I'm outside of the mainstream bubble, I just want to hear an unbiased take on movies and entertainment and stuff, like, I can always go to Tyler. Yeah, he's a great guy. I love having him on. I'm definitely going to have him on again in the future. Yeah, recently, I've been, thankfully in my line of work, I've been able to meet a lot of really cool people and have them on my show. I think that kind of started, I mean, not poo-pooing anybody who's been on the show before. Like, most of them have just been friends and colleagues, and love them all. They've all been great. But like, getting high profile people professionally, yeah, that really started with Paul Rowland, with Exemplum. And Paul is great. I want to have Paul back on because he's like a true independent filmmaker. Like, the work he put into Exemplum is, it leaves me speechless, because one, I think it proves to like anybody in this space, in the independent space, that you can make a movie as visually stunning and emotionally compelling as Exemplum. You just need to apply yourself, and you're going to make sacrifices. Paul went through a heck of a lot of struggles making that film, and the fact that he even wanted to talk to me and be on the show was such an honor. So I'd love to have him back on again, because I know he's working on stuff right now. I'd love to one, talk about what he's working on, but also pick his brain about other things, because I think that was at the time I was doing very kind of straightforward traditional interviews. And now I've kind of evolved the show into like kind of Joe Rogan style interviews, where we just kind of off the cuff, we have questions that we want to ask. We kind of keep it mostly on entertainment, but we talk about kind of everything.
What episode number was that with Paul Rowland?
I think that was 74, so actually 10 episodes after yours.
74. Yeah, go watch that episode.
Yeah, that's a good one. Helen Roy, love Helen. That was a great episode. I think that was called "Did the Girl Boss Ruin Hollywood?" Let's see, who else did we have on in that time? Carmen Schober. She writes for the entertainment, pop culture section on Evie magazine. Love Carmen. I've talked about this episode a lot, but Grace Badalik's episode, I thought that was so great, especially just since Grace and we knew each other from Omaha, and then to reconnect in the way that we have, and the conversation that kind of came out of that episode was really cool. I think that was actually the episode that made me think that the Joe Rogan style off the cuff stuff was the way to go. Yeah. And then recently having JJ Schindler back on, he has been on the show more than any guest that's been on the show regularly. I think that was his 7th or 8th appearance, and he's going to be on again in the future. But yeah, love JJ, my best friend. And it was really great to talk about the personal stuff that we got into, and that he was willing to talk about those stuff, because it's not easy for him to discuss. But I know that he dealt with that grief at a very young age, so he's kind of made peace with that, even though it's still obviously a burden he carries with him. And again, speaking of JJ, having Shelby Turner on, I love Shelby, another one of my best friends. Shelby Schindler. Yes. She's going to be back on very soon. We're actually in the midst of planning her next episode. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. So I hope I answered your question.
I think so.
Yeah. It's been a wild ride, but I'm looking forward to the future.
Good.
Was there any more?
Those were all my questions.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. Thank you for those questions. All right, well, let's move on to I want to talk to Kate one-on-one. We're going to talk about, we're going to do a Joe Rogan style interview with her, because she is super interesting.
I feel like I'm less interesting now. I don't do anything. I'm just a mom.
You're just a mom.
Just kidding.
No,
I'm just kidding.
You, first off, we shouldn't talk about moms in that way. Let's just get right into it. So, okay. Motherhood, like I don't like that connotation that like I'm just a mom, or like I'm just a dad.
I was kidding.
I know you were, but still, like I think people still kind of look at it like that's not interesting, or like you've sacrificed a lot just to be a mom. Like
I think it's in the vernacular to say, someone asks you, "Oh, are you employed, or do you have a job?" And then, I usually say, no, I'm just a stay-at-home mom, but I don't mean it in the sense of like, I'm only a stay-at-home
That's all
mom.
there is to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
people know what moms do now, especially because I think there's been more of a conversation around stay-at-home moms and how important it really is to be with your kids when they're so young.
Yeah.
0 to 3, 3 to 5. Those are like formative years.
Yeah.
So,
and we didn't expect to be parents
so soon.
As soon as we were.
Yeah. I left a really fun job and an income, second income. Like that was kind of scary.
You were gonna consider doing like full-time acting too, right? Or at least maybe part-time.
That was before I moved home, before COVID.
Oh,
that was pre-COVID.
Oh, that was way before.
Once COVID hit and we all got sent home, that was it. I didn't even. I was like, well, if the opportunity arises, then yes, I will go after it, because that's what I love. I mean, I love acting. Still love acting. I would love to do it, but it wasn't
gonna cast her one day.
Thanks. I wasn't in the books.
Yeah.
In the plans.
Well, just because you're a mom doesn't mean you're not allowed to be creative. Doesn't mean you're allowed to have hobbies and interests. And even
no, and we've gone through a lot since Vin.
And you worked a little bit.
Yeah.
While when we first had Vin.
Yeah, I still technically work. I still have a job, technically, like a what's it called? A freelance job. And I still do that, just very, very passively. Like I don't do it as most people do it, just because it's so hard with a toddler, and we try to keep them away from like our phones and stuff, because Oh, that kid. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I've gone through a lot of hobbies since becoming a mom, because I knew I've always wanted to be a mom, but I'm also very creative, and I really needed an outlet for something, like a hobby, like whether that was drawing or painting or planning or decor or voice acting or sales or whatever. Like, it was something I had to do, something that kind of pushed me through the day. Like, it got me through the day. Like, it got me excited. I think of
something to look forward to.
Yes.
Beyond just the parenting thing.
Yeah, and keeping me awake. You know, like
keeping you awake. Yeah.
I think of Candace Owens a lot. When is she controversial to bring on?
No, I don't care. I like Candace Owens. I don't care who has a problem with that.
I have been watching her show recently. We just got into her show recently, and
we are huge Candace Owens fans. Let me make that clear.
Yes. And I
appreciate your sensitivity, but I don't have a problem with that.
I just thought, like, wow, she loves what she does. And she has, would she just have her fourth kid? She had 3 kids before she just had her 4th kid.
Oh, wait. Was it her third?
Was it her 4th or 3rd?
I don't remember. I think it's her 3rd.
Sorry. Was it her 3rd? Anyway, she has kids.
She just had another one.
And she just had another one. And she's been doing this show all the way through her pregnancy, like pre-pregnancy with the kids. Now after another newborn, and I look at that, I'm like, wow, that's what keeps you up. That's what keeps you motivated through the day. That's like what gives you excitement. And I'm still trying to find that.
Yeah.
Because I know that if I have, like, I always crash during the day. I'm pregnant too. So like that is obviously you're more tired. But factor. Even like before I was just so tired usually in the afternoons. Like when our son would go down for a nap, I'd be like, I can't function. Or even after he'd wake up in the afternoon, I'd have a hard time getting through the rest of the day. And it's because I don't have anything besides running around looking after him, which is exhausting, to really like excite me, you know, like get my creative juices flowing and look forward to.
We kind of tried a few things. Like I told
which
you,
I mentioned, yeah.
I told you should have a podcast, and you didn't like that idea, or didn't.
We tried it. It just didn't pan out.
Well, when we were married is what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
You're talking about Through the Day.
Yeah.
Were we married when we did that?
That was before.
No, I'm talking about when we were married.
Oh.
But that should just show how like devoted, like that you've been inspiration for me with this and my goals, because like when you set out to do something, like you do it. Like you graduated college, you got a job, you didn't like it, you went and found another job you liked, you found it, you loved it, you gave 110% to it. You tried a podcast. I don't remember if you didn't like it or if it just wasn't fit for your timing or whatever. Yeah. And like you're not afraid to try things and like it not work out. And when things do work out, like great. It's great. That's what was really inspiring to me. I hope you know.
Well,
like seeing you do that, I was like, if Kate can do it, why am I letting the grass grow beneath my feet?
Yeah, I have a
even you did voice acting.
Yeah, I did.
You tried when we were married and when we had been like 6 months to a year ago, even, right?
Oh yeah, it was much sooner than it was like 6 months ago.
You tried and
I did, and it was fun. But the problem was like
we had a little studio set up in our closet.
Yeah, I had to do it during his nap, and that was like. It's kind of the same as like my freelance job that I have, where I have to choose one thing to do during his nap. You know, I have to choose voice acting. Okay, well that's going to take a long time because first you have to record, then you have to edit it, and it takes a long time to record because you don't like the first, second, third tries. And then you have to put it all together. Then you have to upload it. And you have to do multiple. Like, you can't just do one. You're never going to get anywhere just doing one voice acting thing. So it does take a couple hours. And then I have to get, like, caught up on chores. And then I'm tired. Like, it's just so many things to... Then do I want to sit and read? Or do I want to watch something? Like... And to be consistent and, like, be starting that out, you kind of have to, like, go full steam ahead, which is what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just kind of like burning out because I was getting really tired. And
you're also doubly exhausted, just like you were taking care of
it was a lot.
Our kid from like 8 a.m. till 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then he goes down for his nap. And like,
then again,
I'm shocked that you even had the energy to try and do like a 20-30 minute recording session and then upload the files or whatever.
That might have been, and also that was, I think I started it when he was taking 2 naps. So I had 2 opportunities in the day. I had like an hour and a half here. Okay, I'll do this for the first part of the nap or for the first nap. And then in the second nap, I'll do like reading, chores, a nap, television, like whatever it was. But now that he takes 1 nap and I'm like, I have to consolidate, it's a little harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
But you do a great job at it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
I do like to try new things though.
Yeah.
They don't always pan out.
And again, it was
I'm
really
chronically bad at following through if something isn't like panning out right then and there, which is like my downfall usually.
Mm.
But I give myself a lot of grace.
But at least you're not willing. You're willing to like throw in the towel when you know it's not like this isn't working. I need to try something else.
Yes.
You don't like stick it out or whatever.
Yes, because I want to use my time wisely, and I know I don't have a lot of time. So I'm like, okay, well, what's going to better serve me, my family, my kids?
I know what you're not chronically bad at.
Oh, what?
Staying healthy, being healthy.
Oh, thank you.
Being crunchy.
Thank you. Little crunchy.
We've like
totally
ever since was this right?
I was pregnant with Vin.
So this was like a year after we got married.
Yeah. Yeah.
We like completely
6
adopted
months,
the crunchy
months.
Lifestyle.
6 months, we started to adopt.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, this feels really good.
Mm-hmm. And it took a while because
it did.
Like for me, I'm a chronic snacker. And I remember in my last job before the current one I have right now, I would like, they'd have like a stand, like a snack area with like chips. And like little bags of chips, and I would have like maybe like some days I'd have like 1 bag, other days I'd have like 3, and I'd feel sluggish and like low energy and all that. I'm just like, what's happening to me? What's going on? I'm not getting enough sleep. And it took a while, even to this day. Like I still kind of struggle with that, but I'm getting better. I struggle with like staying away from snacking on those things because I know they're bad, but like. Sometimes you want a bag of Chex Mix, but I also have to like weigh like the ingredients. I know the ingredients are toxic and bad. And then, okay, am I willing to maybe affect my energy in the next 20-30 minutes if I eat this bag of chips? Yeah. So that's at least how it's like affected me. Yeah. And I don't know, like just everything we've been doing, I think has been,
I was lucky because at the time when we were like changing everything, like ridding our pantry of literally everything, I was pregnant with Vin and I had a huge aversion to sugar, and sugar was always my downfall. Like I always needed something sweet after a meal all the time. But then I was pregnant with Vin. I didn't want any sugar. Like, don't come at me with that cookie. Like that is disgusting. I didn't even like coffee. I didn't like coffee for this pregnancy either.
Yeah.
Like, first trimester, but
we didn't have coffee today.
No, it's too hot. It's too hot for a cup of coffee today. It's too humid.
You didn't want coffee because it was too hot.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, oh, I guess I want
too lazy. I felt bad. I was like, I should make coffee.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, that really helped like cut the sugar addiction. Like just like stopping it. And so that really helped me because I really like I'm a snacker, but not like you. And no, I don't ever buy. I don't ever buy like chips and things, especially after learning everything we did. I was like, we're never buying this stuff again.
It definitely makes it easier when you know like you're basically eating
poison.
So like I think that
like why do I want to make myself feel terrible?
You know, the thing that really woke me up.
Why do I want to sunburn myself?
Yeah. The thing that really woke me up was, I don't remember who said this, but somebody, maybe it was someone on Culture Apothecary, said, if you're not reading the ingredients in your food, like I'm trying to think of the comparison, but like like you read I don't remember. Like it was like if you, I'm just going to use some dumb example. It's probably not
Sorry,
like
that's so
accurate.
spooky.
Well, that's fine.
It's the chair.
If you're okay, here's an example that works for me. Like
Okay.
if you're looking at a movie and like the rating, like
Yeah.
rated R for like sexual content or whatever, and you're sticking with that because that's bad for you or
Yeah,
bad for your
yeah.
soul or whatever, and you're not looking at like a food
label.
product and
Mhm.
looking at the ingredients, like
Yeah.
why not? Because and that's a really horrible way of explaining it, but
No,
you
that
get
was
what
good.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like not reading the ingredients
hmm
is
Not being aware of
it's
what's
like
going into
it's
your
like
body.
okay, I'm gonna eat poison. Like that's kind of the contract. It's like this contains bad stuff, and
Mhm.
you eating this is signing the contract essentially.
And now we kind of know like what to eat. Like we don't really even need to read the labels anymore because we don't buy processed food.
No, we don't.
Hardly ever.
You asked me today, like, do you want any snacks? And I'm like, why? We don't eat
Yeah,
snacks.
I was grocery shopping and I was like, do you want anything else? Like, I feel like I need to stock up on something. And there wasn't really, besides like meat and cheese,
Steak,
to snack on.
Good Ranchers.
To snack on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's the best, one of the coolest crunchy health hacks we've done that has been like really game changer for me?
What?
The blue light glasses.
Oh yeah, those
I
have helped.
I brought mine up. I wanted to
So
showcase
much.
them.
If I
they're
put them on
amazing,
now,
they
I
are.
would probably fall asleep.
Yeah. So
Like I would probably.
we're big Alex Clark spillover fans. We love her show.
Culture Apothecary.
Culture Apothecary. She actually helped me get chocolate for you on Valentine. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Like I asked her randomly,
Big
like,
promoter of
"Hey, can you
chocolate.
help me find pseudo free
Yeah.
chocolate for my
He did.
wife?
He
Because she
reached
won't eat
out.
sweets if it's not pseudo free." And she messaged me and she said, like, check out Hue Chocolate
And like good sugars.
Oh
and,
my
like,
gosh,
not
this is going to be the best Valentine's Day gift ever.
And
I
it
got
was
her pseudo free
delicious.
chocolate. I got her flowers, and Alex Clark picked it out personally.
Yeah,
So
it was very, very cool.
yeah, so we love Alex Clark,
Mm-hmm.
love Culture Apothecary. And we listened to the 9 to 5 circadian rhythm episode.
Really good.
Game changer,
Mhm.
amazing. And immediately upon listening to that episode, we got these.
We did.
These are blue light glasses with like extreme orange tint. And what we do, or what
They block out all artificial light pretty much.
So like if you don't know this,
when the sun
like,
goes down.
and this is a very amateur explanation, but basically like as the sun goes down, like your melatonin, your natural melatonin that helps you fall asleep is starting to kick in. And when you stay up watching Restaurant Impossible till like 10 o'clock or watching a movie or something,
Which is what I'm really looking forward to
what
doing.
we watch
after
we're gonna watch after this. Your melatonin is like eradicated.
Sure.
So if you go to sleep and you're anxious, you can't sleep, you're restless, you're having active dreams, like
You're killing my melatonin right now by using this.
yes,
thing.
exactly. So
Not wearing glasses.
wearing these blocks out all the blue light at like 95% or something. And
This is like a QVC
you'll be able to
commercial.
go to sleep. Yeah. And like I'm promoting this because it actually works. I'm kidding you. I'm not kidding, guys. Like I did this. I put these on. We were watching a movie and I put these on and I told you the next morning, like, babe, I don't think I've gotten this great of sleep since I was like
truly
a kid.
The sleep has
It was
been
amazing.
life-changing.
Because I've been watching screens like before I go to bed since college. So
And you work on screens all day.
I work on screens all the time.
Yeah, it's a lot of screen time. A lot of blue light.
I need to get because they suggested that you should get like yellow tinted blue light glasses for like daily work.
Yes, these are only for nighttime.
Yes, these are only for nighttime. And then we
so
also
dark.
have a little hatch light that we use that emits red light.
Yeah, I turned it to the red light because this time when I'm nursing in the middle of the night with the new baby, instead of doing the white light, which your first time mom, you don't really you want to be able to see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see anything, and Vin was such a bad nurser, so I was like, I have to have light to make sure everything looks right and everything. So this time though, we have a red light going on and I don't need to see as bright as I was, and it doesn't disrupt the baby sleep either. So
yeah,
that'll be helpful.
So that'll
we'll see
be
how
really
that
helpful.
we'll see how that works. I'll probably be like this because of the, the red light, but
that'll be funny. Yeah, so I highly recommend this. I'm gonna have to invest in some yellow light glasses for work, because I have blue light glasses, but they're like,
I guess they don't really work that
they're
well.
There's like a slight tint. There's a slight tint, but they really don't do much.
Yeah,
I think I do enough though, because I feel pretty good when I wear them.
I'm sure they're blocking out some blue light,
but I want like the full effect, so I gotta invest in those. But
wow, we have really gotten off topic.
No, I love this.
Okay,
this is exactly what I like doing.
So glad.
Great. I do want to I want to ask you specifically about what are you looking forward to? Any movies coming out this year, or anything that has come out that we've seen or you haven't had a chance to see?
Well, being a new mom again, I'm not going to be going to the movies much at all this year. So I was happy to be able to fit in Final Reckoning. Mission Impossible. Final Reckoning. Very, very good. Loved it.
Well, yeah, you liked it?
Loved it.
How do you think it ranks amongst all eight movies?
It's one of his best ones as far as like pushing the stunts for sure. Like, it was very stressful. Like, I had to really relax while he was doing
that plane scene was insane.
Plane scene.
But I agree.
And learning how he did it. Yeah, just crazy. So I really liked it. I really liked the story. I really liked the characters. I loved the callbacks. But that one was really, really fun to see. And then I don't even know what movies are coming out this year except for Wicked. And I'm really looking forward to Wicked because
Superman.
Rachel Brosnahan is in Superman.
David Cornsweet from Twisters.
That's more my sister.
That's more her sister, who's a big Twisters fan.
Loves Twisters. But yeah, that one looks good. I probably won't see it in theaters, but I will probably watch it.
Wicked?
No, Superman.
Oh yeah.
But Wicked, I would love to see
chairs creaking.
Wicked in person.
Yeah, you want to see it in theaters.
I really do.
Yeah, we just watched the new trailer for.
It made me cry.
Wicked for Good. That's what it's being called. Yeah, I'm not really. I don't know much about Wicked. Like, I know as much as you've told me, but
you could try to read the book before. It's kind of dense.
We'll see. But as a fan, like, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I think, first of all, just watching it, like, visually, the costumes are stunning. Like, it's just so visually pleasing to watch. The music was so good in the first one, and I was actually very blown away by vocals and the music and just the score and everything in general. Just very, very good. So I'm definitely looking forward to this next part of the movie because some of my favorite songs are in the second part.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited about that, and yeah, I'm just excited to watch it and experience it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that the first movie was kind of getting like the woke crowd attacking it because like, oh, it's Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande. They're talking about how Oz is queer and stuff, and it's woke and all that, and like they're like weird, like banter, like why is the marketing so weird? But like when you saw that, the marketing
was so like they could have destroyed that movie. I don't understand why they.
I think they lost a little bit of the public. I think they did made more money.
I think so too because it was such a turnoff. Like why aren't you just talking about the movie? Like the movie is spectacular. Why aren't you?
I also can't help but get annoyed with the people who take that bait. It's like, just go see the movie. Like, stop looking at the marketing to get answers about how the movie's going to be, and just go see the movie.
Unless it's like someone who is, my brain's not working. A legitimate source who's like, talking poorly about a movie. Like, I'm not going to go see a movie that's, I'm being told it's like not good. Like, morally wise, but I'm if you not inclined to see it.
Of course. But like people just saying, "Oh, don't see it because I don't like Cynthia Erivo or Ariana Grande." It's like, well, sorry, but they're objectively amazing in the film.
They are really good in the film. Like I just putting them as people to the side and just like accepting who they are in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah. Do you think actors should, whether they're conservative or liberal, do you think they should reserve being openly public about their personal beliefs for the sake of people enjoying their movies?
It's hard because they have a platform.
Mm-hmm.
They have a voice to use. I wish they would use it in the way I want them to use it.
Right.
But
that's America.
Right. So that's why I struggle with saying yes or no. It's annoying when they go on like their weird spiels. Like, gosh, who was it? I think it was Walking Phoenix who's talking about like animal.
Oh, at the Oscar speech.
Yeah, like that's weird. Like, I don't know. That's a whole separate conversation.
There's different ways to do it though, because like you have Tom Cruise who just like stays away from it all. Like I think somebody asked him on the marketing trail for Final Reckoning, they were like, "Well, what do you think of Trump's tariffs on films?" He's like, I prefer to answer questions about the movie, thank you.
Yeah, I think if you're going to be interviewed about a movie, you should talk about the movie. Like, don't put political. If you're going up for like an award, okay, this is better. If you're going up for an award, thank your people, thank God, talk about the movie, how blessed you are to be there. That's not the time for a political voice. Yeah. Unless your movie is about politics or whatever,
about a particular message.
Yes, it is not the time to be saying that stuff. So okay. That I like that you turned it into that, because now I can say very confidently I don't agree with actors using their voices in moments like that. If you want to go and do it at home, outside of the movie, outside of an award show, go for it.
Yeah, because
go for it.
The studios are hiring you to not just star in a film but promote the film.
Right.
And if you are
talking about anything else other than the film, what are you doing?
Yeah, if you are bringing negative buzz, like Rachel Zegler is a perfect example. Like,
just talk about how good your movie's going to be.
If you are bringing negative attention, that is affecting the box office, that is affecting people's jobs and livelihoods, and so you need to know when to not talk about it. And like, yeah, she can talk on social media about supporting Gaza or
save what I said here.
Yeah,
because I want to never forget that I said that, because I like what I said.
The internet's forever, baby.
It is.
I was gonna say you have like the Tom Cruise way of doing it. Then you have like maybe, for example, Mark Ruffalo, who's like a very outspoken liberal. But I also want to ask, can you, when you're watching a movie with like Mark Ruffalo, can you disassociate his politics with you watching a movie with him in it?
It depends.
Okay, like what?
Well, if he is playing a character who's closely related to himself and the positions he takes, then it's very hard to be like,
Well, so like Bruce Banner, like him playing the Hulk in Avengers. Can you watch him and like take Mark Ruffalo out of that performance?
Yes.
Okay, because I can too.
Yes.
I think Mark Ruffalo is actually a really good actor. I
can take Ariana Grande out of Wicked.
Yeah.
She's just
I was gonna say
Glinda.
You can attest to this. Popular is like my new favorite song. It was on repeat for like a month after we saw the film.
Literally.
Because it's like she's, I think I said she's like gleefully naive. I just love how like
she like actually takes on a charter.
Neurotic she is in that moment, but also just gleeful and fun and poppy and just I love it.
Yeah.
Just like fun. Just fun. Okay, so we're kind of wrapping things up now. I kind of want to talk about what's next for the show. You know what's next, right?
I don't even think I know what's next.
Oh, okay. Well, this will be good to get your reaction, your thoughts, and everything. Yeah. I think I've told you. Maybe it hasn't been conclusive with me, but
you've been figuring things out.
I've been figuring things out, but I think I know exactly what I want to do.
Okay, let's see.
So, first off, the show is going to continue, and not that was ever in doubt, but the show is going to continue. It's not going anywhere.
Oh, and we kind of have some exciting moves for the show. Yes. We're not going to say it. We're not going to say it yet.
Yes.
But if everything works out, we have some exciting...
Basically, I'll just say like we might be getting a new studio.
Yes.
We'll see what that looks like. We're kind of we're in the midst of figuring that out.
Yeah.
But we might be. I literally just put this whole setup together.
And don't ask him what that means, because we're not going to answer.
Don't ask, but you'll know.
You'll know when it happens.
You'll know
if
when
it
it
happens.
happens if it happens. So yes,
that's
was
very
exciting.
exciting.
That's very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
The show's going to continue,
especially with 2 kids now. You'll
yes.
have more. Hopefully.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Pray
for us. Yes.
Pray for us.
Okay. So.
Sorry,
it's okay.
I took that down.
No, it's okay. That is actually
very
important.
Exciting.
It's a very important point. So the show's going to continue, but it's kind of going on the back burner.
Oh.
And what that means is,
I didn't know this.
As I've,
summer hiatus.
Again, no, not even a hiatus.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not going anywhere.
Okay.
It's not going anywhere.
Oh.
As I've stated, like this exercise, this pursuit of 100 episodes and being consistent has really helped to boost my confidence, and that I can do these things that I want to do, and like I kind of reinvigorated my creative energy. And it's also helped me to realize that as much as I love doing podcasting, I don't want to be a podcaster for the rest of my life. I don't want that to be my MO. You know, I'm in this for movie making, for filmmaking, for telling stories. I have stories I want to tell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so my focus is going to be creatively going forward. My focus is going to be on 2 things: YouTube essays, YouTube videos, like
yes, I did
proper reviews, properly edited reviews. Look at George Dahl's Film Journal for inspiration. Think like that. And I'm going to start writing scripts again, because I want to make movies. My new goal is to make a new short film very soon. Well, I have not directed anything since the Eastman Brothers, which, if you guys have been following me online, you know a lot about. I was very open about that movie. Unfortunately, it's not going to see the light of day anytime soon.
We could turn our thing into a short film.
Yes, and she and we've written a script.
Yeah.
That we very.
How short does a short film have to be, or how long can a short film be?
59 minutes.
Oh, it can be an hour?
Well, 59 minutes is not an hour. So.
Right before an hour?
Yeah.
We could do that.
Yeah.
You could do that.
The second before an hour is.
Might be easier to do it that way then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We wrote a pilot together.
We did.
And we were going to shoot it, but.
I got pregnant.
She got pregnant.
And I told him, I was like, if I'm pregnant, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. But we're still figuring out how we can do that. So
that's
see.
a very exciting project in the works. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I have 2 ideas I've been bouncing around in my head that I know I can make on the cheap as a short film, and then just start building out my resume again as a filmmaker. Maybe the Eastman Brothers will see the light of day, and that, like, if it does, it's going to have to be reshot completely. Yeah. But the podcast will continue. I don't want people to think that the podcast is going anywhere. It's going to continue. I will come on sparingly to talk about current events and things that I care about, and I will mostly be focusing on interviews.
Good. So
I can say that, right after this, you'll see part 2 of my interview with JJ Schindler. Shelby Schindler will be coming on soon after that. I'm going to get Grace back on. I have other friends, other people that I want to bring on the show, because I love that Joe Rogan style of conversation. I think that is what has excited me about this podcast, more so than talking about current events by myself.
Yeah.
And I still want to do that. Like,
makes it fun for your audience too.
Yeah, I think it's fun for you guys. Those tend to be the most, like, right now JJ's episode and Grace's episode are doing really well. And I think it's obvious why they're doing really well. Rest assured, like, I'll come on and I'll talk about Toy Story 5 when the trailer comes out, because come on, I'll gladly dedicate a whole hour to talk about Toy Story 5, no problem. And other current events as they apply to myself in the show. But I love podcasting. I want to keep podcasting. It's really fun for me, and it's a great entertaining outlet. And hopefully this will grow into, something that can generate revenue for us. And the goal would be for someone to pick up this show, bankroll it and we can turn it into a business. And, I can do the podcast like Joe Rogan does and like do other things on the side, or do the podcast on the side and do other things for a living, but I just want to focus my energies, my revitalized energies, on being a creative force. Because another thing really quick before we wrap up, I've been talking about pop culture and movies and pop culture and like dissecting all these things. I think I said pop culture twice. I've been talking about movies and culture and pop culture and everything. I've been talking about all these things to like a almost nauseating degree, which is, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's a good thing. But I've also realized, like, when you're talking about culture and how to impact culture for Christ, which is my mission, there's only so much you can talk about before doing something about it is how you're going to really bring change and impact. And I don't want to just talk about the issues, because I think everybody's talking about the issues. And the best way to, I think, to bring real change is to act. So I want to see better movies. I want to help foster in a new era of filmmaking, because Hollywood and the film industry as a whole is kind of going through an identity crisis right now. And I want to be on the front lines to help with that identity crisis, which is why I am choosing to devote my energies to filmmaking and not exclusively to this podcast. And again, YouTube video essays. I want to review movies that I'm interested in, review stories, even if they're not good stories, almost as an exercise to help, like, kind of relearn, not that I don't know, but like relearn, refresh myself with like what makes a good story and what makes a bad story. What do I see value in stories? What do I see that devalues a story? Things like that. That's what the video essays are going to be about. So, content galore is coming on this channel, and the podcast will continue, but it will not be the focus. So, I don't want to say what my first video essay is going to be. I will say I've debated between two ideas. I'm reading a book right now, and it's a phenomenal book. It's actually a comic book, and I think I might make that my first video essay, because it is related to a little superhero film coming out in early July. Or I'm going to do something relating to another,
really on the nose.
Yeah, or I'm going to do something related to another superhero film coming out in the later half of July. You can probably do the math there and figure out what I'm talking about. But I want to do something in tandem with those particular films because, well, why wouldn't you?
Right.
So, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Great.
Now you know.
I know.
Well, there we go, guys. Episode 100 is in the books.
Yay.
And next year will be 10 years of doing this show. So
wow.
I got to keep going for 10 years.
You have to. 10th anniversary.
10th anniversary, yeah.
Party.
Throw
a party.
I'll have to do another Ghostbusters 2016
oh my gosh.
thing. Because
you can have Vin on for that one. He can just keep playing the music in the background.
Yeah, we'll see. My son loves the Ghostbusters theme song, so we'll see about that. He'll want to play with the computer.
Oh, that's true. Never mind.
Maybe when he's like actually properly old enough.
Yeah, I'll just keep playing the song for you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, yeah, episode 100 is in the books. Thank you all so much again for subscribing, liking the show, commenting, sharing, following me on social media and all that. We're really close to 400 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. It really helps a lot with this channel, with growing this thing. And if you guys want to see more content, the subscriptions really help. So please do that. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, and again, subscribe, where you can check out old episodes of the Vince Salerno podcast, as well as trailer reactions. You can check out the episodes where this lovely lady appears. And it's safe to say you'll probably be back on again.
Probably.
If you want to.
Thank you.
I mean, she's a very convenient guest because she lives in the same house as me. So
right downstairs.
Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, 100 episodes.
100 episodes. Let's go have a baby.
Well, we already have a baby.
Let's go have another baby.
You want to go have some ice cream and watch Restaurant Impossible?
Yeah.
We're going to go do that. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. God bless. And as always, peace out.